Yo, how's it going, guys and girls? My name's Chris and welcome to my channel, CSM Investing. As you can see from the title of this video, we're going to be talking about Planet 13, ticker symbol PLNHF. Now, I may have fooled some of you with the title of this video, which I do apologise, as Planet 13 is no longer my largest position, as it has been overtaken by what used to now be called CCIV, but is now Lucid Motors. And if you'd like to know why that stock has actually overtaken as my new largest position, you can go check out the video that I will leave linked at the end and you'll understand why. But before we actually start talking about Planet 13, please do realise that I'm not a financial advisor, and anything that I do say, please take with a pinch of salt. And since you're all here, I hope you enjoy the video. First things first, I think it's best that we start talking about what Planet 13 actually is, as if you don't know what they are, then you shouldn't be investing in them. So, Planet 13 is a cannabis company that is based in Nevada, Las Vegas, which is in the United States. Now, they have the largest cannabis dispensary, which is at 112,000 square foot. And they first opened this on the 1st of November 2018. Obviously, it's always important to know who else is occupying the same space. So, Planet 13's direct competitors are Dorset's Harvest Health and Recreation, CBDMD and Carvia. Not going to lie to you, I've probably butchered half of them names, but it is what it is. And since we've talked about who their competitors are, you can go do your own research into them if you really want and see who's better. But obviously I'm talking about Planet 13 here, so we know who's the best, in my opinion, obviously. But yeah, so now that we spoke on some of the competitors, now I think it's time that we talk about some of the products that Planet 13 sell, and these consist of pre-rolls, concentrates, vape products, and they also do edibles, obviously. According to Planet 13, they say their ambition is to operate ultra high end dispensaries in tier 1 markets nationwide and to sell their brands Medzin, Trendy and Leaf and Vine in both their branded stores and wholesale. Now we know a little bit into the background of what Planet 13 do and how they make their money. We're also going to be taking a look right now at their past and current earnings. Now, back in 2019, it was reported that Planet 13 made $60 million from its standalone store on the Las Vegas Strip. I'd just like to stop here and say the next part is going to involve a lot of numbers and some words that some of you that are just starting out might not know. So to make things a little less confusing, I'm going to drop some definitions in. So if you already know all this stuff, you can skip ahead. But if you don't, I suggest listening. First one is revenue. Now, revenue is the income earned by a business over a period of time, e.g. year over year. The amount of revenue earned depends on two things: the number of items sold and their selling price. In short, revenue equals price times quantity. Second is net income. Now, net income, also called net earnings, is calculated as sales minus costs of goods sold, selling, general and administrative expenses, operating expenses, depreciation, interest, taxes, and other expenses. This number appears on a company's income statement and is also an indicator of a company's profitability. 3 is the net profit margin. Now, the net profit margin, or simply net margin, measures how much net income or profit is generated as a percentage of revenue. It is the ratio of net profits to revenues for a company or business segment. Net profit margin is typically expressed as a percentage but can also be represented in decimal form. Not many left now, people. Don't stress, just stick with me. I get that it's a lot of information to go through, but we can do this, okay? Stick with me. Fourth is operating income. Now, operating income, also called income from operations, takes a company's gross income, which is equivalent to total revenue minus COGS, and subtracts all operating expenses. A business's operating expenses are costs incurred from normal operating activities and include items such as office supplies and utilities. Next is the net change in cash. Now this is the amount by which a company's cash balance increases or decreases in an accounting period. Ideally, a company will boost its cash balance each period. Sixth is cash on hand. Now, this comes in the form of money that a business has available at a certain time. Further, it is cash that a business has after it has paid all costs. Cash on hand is the funds available to companies that will be spent as necessary instead of assets that must be sold to produce additional cash. And last but not least, thank God, is costs of revenue. Now this refers to the total cost of manufacturing and delivering a product or service to consumers. Cost of revenue information is found in a company's income statement. It is designed to represent the direct costs associated with the goods and services the company provides. I get that was a lot to understand, and you're probably thinking, God, I've got to know all this. You're probably feeling like this woman.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
So let's actually get into this. Planet 13's past earnings. Back in June 2020, revenue was at 10.76 million, meaning it was down 38.87%, with a net income of minus 3.99 million, which is 326.32% down. Its net profit margins were 37.06% minus, which is 554.77% down. Operations income was minus 2.72 million, which is 312.84% down. Its net change in cash was 8.79 million, which was 4,408.95% up. Their cash on hand was 22.72 million, which was 13.87% up, and cost of revenue was 6.01 million, which was 13.14% down. Yes, these numbers don't look amazing, but what we have to understand is that this was during a time of peak fear because of the big C. Now, don't stress. We will now look into the quarterly financials of 2021. And I understand there's a lot of numbers, just stick with me here, people. So in March 2021, revenue was 23.82 million, which is 41.82% up. Net income was 443.76k, which is 131.42% up. Net profit margins were 1.86%, which is 122.17% up. Operating income was at 3.46 million, meaning it was up 572.93%. Net change in cash was 62.13 million, which is 5,431.256% up. Cash on hand was 141.13 million, which is 912.54% up, and cost of revenue was 10.64 million, meaning it was up 41.63%. Now, comparing that to June's financials 2020, you can see how profitable this company actually is. Its EPS in Q4 of 2020 missed by minus 500%. And in Q1 of 2021, it hit by 100%. So to actually see why this is, let's take a look at their future plans. July 2021, Planet 13 will be opening a new store in California, which will be its first foray outside of Nevada. Its second location was opened in the fourth quarter of 2020, so its economic environment is likely not to be normal, but this could be a good thing as revenue growth could become relatively high once things start to normalise once again. Within the next 5 years, 8 new stores plan to be opened along the east and the west coast of the US in prime locations. It's kind of difficult to put future predictions on this actual stock as there isn't any information out there about any expansion outside of California. But according to Wallet Investors, the stock price prognosis for the 1st of the 7th 2026 is $34.38. So with a 5-year investment, that's an increase of 413.29%. So if you have a current $100 in this stock, that would be $513.27 in 2026. With this said, obviously there is a lot of upside with this particular stock. But because it isn't a proven company just yet, there is some type of risk with it, which is obvious. But if you're not the risk taking type, I'd give this stock a miss. At the time of recording this video, I have around 87.15 shares in Planet 13 with an average price of $7.054. But I will be definitely adding to this position. The final thoughts here are that this stock is a must buy. Obviously, don't just take my own words for it, do your own research, and as I've said all across this channel, only invest money that you're willing to lose. Now, Planet 13, it has its risks, so it's not a very high risk stock. But like anything, it's only risky if you make it risky. It has a great business model and I can see it going far. I'm Chris and thanks for coming to my channel. Peace.